Today's selection is a 1994 feature film by director Michael Lehman entitled Airheads. This movie enjoys a bit of a cult following now, but upon its initial release it only made $5 million on a $10 million budget, so it was quickly pushed under the rug. And I don't understand why, because, well, let me explain. So the movie stars Brendan Fraser playing Chaz Darby, seriously his name. He is the vocalist and the lead guitar player for the Lone Rangers, a band backed by Steve Buscemi on bass and Adam Sandler on drums. Must be awesome, right? Well, they are, but you'll never hear them because they can't get signed to save their ass. Cue Judd Nelson playing a record executive who tells Chaz, "I'm not listening to your demo, and you're not getting a record deal, suck it." And we'll get back to him in a little bit. So on the very same day that Judd Nelson tells Chaz to suck it, Chaz's girlfriend breaks up with him and he's forced to move in with his bandmates. But this is when he gets an epiphany. If the Lone Rangers can somehow get their demo played on the radio station, maybe they can get a record deal. Worth a shot, right? So they break into the local hard rock station and plead with Joe Montaigne, who is sympathetic but is bound by the radio red tape. They get a minute and a half of airtime before Mr. Green busts in, and holy sh**, that escalated quickly. Now at this point, Fraser, Buscemi, and Sandler have taken the station hostage live on the radio with plastic guns, and the masses love them. All of a sudden, everybody wants to hear the Lone Rangers, but they can't because nobody has a tape, especially the Lone Rangers. They send out a plea on the radio for Chaz's ex to bring in the backup demo, all the while Kramer is crawling through the air ducts trying like hell to get out. Outside the station, Ernie the Mac Daddy Hudson is trying to police them into giving up peacefully, all the while a Headbangers grassroots movement is starting outside the police line maintained by Chris Farley. And now I'm sad. I miss you, Chris. Then Officer Bagadick shows up and he arms Kramer and sends him in to kill. But over the course of time, Stockholm Syndrome sets in and the whole staff falls in love with the Lone Rangers. Well, some more than others. Kramer waits for the most opportune moment and makes his play, but Mr. Montaigne is like, nope. It takes what seems like forever for Chaz's ex to show up with the tape, and then she just f***s everything up with her psycho bitch ways. But it's cool, cause whatever, rock and roll. Back to Judd Nelson, who sees the news coverage and is like, "Oh man, I told that guy to suck it earlier, now he's a thing. Hubris sucks." So he books it down to the radio station and slimeballs his way in with a record contract and a whole lot of butt kissing that he should have been doing earlier, but you know, hindsight's 20/20. So now everything's coming up Lone Rangers, until they find out that the impromptu live concert / music video / big break is supposed to be lip sync. Not wanting to pull a Milli Vanilli, they stick to their guns and do it their way. From prison. Now while this isn't the most original storyline, because let's face it, it's a dog day afternoon for the Wayne's World generation, but it's directed properly by the man that brought us Heathers, so that's awesome. Brendan Fraser does a fantastic job playing Chaz as a stereotypical wannabe rock star trope without making it seem tedious. We even get a few moments of sympathy for the guy. Steve Buscemi plays a wonderful asshole as always, but it's Adam Sandler that steals every scene that he's in.
There's nothing you can do about it, because I'm a madman!
He plays the character of Pip with a childlike grace that really makes for a lovable, sympathetic character. He really shows off his talent as a supporting actor in the pre-Billy Madison days. It's also the cameos that keep popping up in this movie that keep you coming back. The list of stars include Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, Adam Sandler, Joe Montaigne, David Arquette, Chris Farley, Ernie Hudson, Michael McKean, Michael Richards, Judd Nelson, Reggie Cathy, Harold Ramis, Rob Zombie, and Lemmy. Damn, I miss you, Lemmy. Now, if you have seen this movie, you probably love it. If you haven't seen this movie, you are denying yourself something fantastic. A lot of the references in this movie are dated, but you can't put a date on good humor. Fine movie, watch it, love it, enjoy.